Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much indeed for the opportunity to be here today. My name is Paul Taylor. I'm President and Chief Executive Officer of Mortgage Professionals Canada. I'm also joined today by the Chair of our board, Mr. Mark Kerzner, who is President of TMG, the Mortgage Group. Mortgage Professionals Canada is the National Mortgage Industry Association representing 11,500 individuals and approximately 1,000 companies, including mortgage brokers, mortgage lenders, mortgage insurers, and industry service providers. Our members make up the largest and most respected network of mortgage professionals in the country. Since the tax change announcements and the beginning of the consultation period, our members told us they were frustrated by the seemingly confrontational tone and general lack of clarity within the proposed changes. Our members support tax fairness, but were disappointed with how the government characterized small businesses who use legal tax planning strategies as not paying their fair share. We surveyed our members to determine what the proposed changes would mean to them. The results are a reliable representation of how our members expected to be impacted. Approximately 65% of the respondents indicated that they were an incorporated business. Of those incorporated then, 66% said they would be negatively impacted if income sprinkling was disallowed. The majority of those indicated that they would see their household tax bills increase between $10,000 and $25,000 per year. Almost 75% of those incorporated respondents indicated they would be negatively impacted by the changes to passive investments, with a plurality estimating this would reduce their net wealth at retirement by up to 30%. Finally, the capital gains conversion provision, 53% of our members who responded to the survey indicated they would have or were planning to use this mechanism in the future. We shared these results with the Minister's Office in September. We are encouraged by the recent announcements of the small business tax reduction and the announced amendments to the original proposed corporate tax changes, and specifically the adjustments which directly address some of the concerns we've raised. We recommended that the government change the language used when communicating these changes. Our members appreciate that the government no longer suggests individual business owners of tax avoiders and is instead discussing how potentially unintended tax advantages may be unfair to some Canadians. While we still have some concerns with the income sprinkling provision, we are appreciative of the additional clarification that's been provided regarding what will be allowed and what will not. We recommend that the government clearly outline what types of family structures would be permissible under the new rules. We're thankful for further clarity on the point. However, we are concerned that a reasonableness test, may be interpreted differently by individual CRA agents during their reviews and anticipate some variation in the practical execution. These discrepancies in application create confusion and differing standards. As such, we caution the drafters of the final legislation to be specific and precise in their descriptions of what is acceptable. We also applaud the decision to abandon the proposed changes to capital gains provisions. Additionally, the government listened and directly responded to concerns we raised regarding changes to passive investment. Since most corporations already have contingency funds in place, we recommended that certain types of passive investments be permitted for business owners to plan for emergencies, retirement, parental or sick leave, or to weather an economic downturn. And we're pleased to see the government agree with that recommendation. The ministers made it clear that passive investments are already in place and any investment made prior to the new rules implementation date will be grandfathered and not subject to the new tax, and that an allowance for passive investment with a threshold of $50,000 a year be permitted on a go-forward basis. We had recommended that an indexed amount of no less than $1 million of passive investment be permitted to ensure that middle-class business owners are not impacted. In discussion with our members and tax professionals, we arrived at this figure by estimating 12 months of operating and salary costs for small to mid-sized businesses. The government's announcement of $50,000 per year equates to roughly $1 million in savings based on a nominal 5% rate of return over 15 years. And we feel that this is in line with our recommendation and can grow beyond the $1 million mark as the business ages and expands. We do suggest, however, that the $50,000 limit be indexed or an equivalent RRSP adjustment be made to that limit on an annual basis to ensure that the size and intent of this allowance is maintained over time. Similarly, we would recommend that any unused portion of this allowable allotment be accrued for future years in the years that it's not completely exhausted. It's clear the government's listened to concerns from our members, and we have been encouraged with our direct engagement with the Minister's office. So I would like to credit the Minister directly for listening to our concerns and recommendations. That said, we do remain concerned that the overall impact of these changes will still result in a net tax increase for a number of our members. So we will continue to work constructively with the government as they move forward with these proposals to ensure our members are not unduly impacted. We want to make sure that Canada is a place where entrepreneurship is encouraged and small businesses can continue to thrive. Thank you very much indeed again for the opportunity to present here today, and I'm happy to take any questions.